Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bring a Trailer podcast. My name is Alex Porter. I am the operations director for the company. Today, we are playing one of our popular one-year garage games, this time focused on model year 1980. I am joined on the pods by Beck, Tyler, and Cam, all of whom have been on the podcast before, though Tyler had never played the one-year garage game. The guys and I decided on 1980 just a few hours before we recorded and thought it would maybe be a little bit of a challenge, but man, we ended up really enjoyed doing this model year. We are excited to hear your feedback. Thanks as always to our producer, Chris Baxter, for putting this episode together.
The Bring a Trailer podcast.
1980, one-year garage. It's always a pleasure to do these. And 1980 kind of thought it would be tough. Actually enjoyed the research. How about you guys?
I was shocked at how much fun the research was. You don't think of 1980 as being the pinnacle of performance or design or comfort or reliability or, well, anything really. But I was like, I would totally rock a 1985 car garage.
There's a lot of little gems that are going to eventually grow into other things. You're seeing a lot of cars that haven't necessarily been ruined yet, but they're about to. O2 sensors, I think, started around 1980. And so you actually start to get some cool engines coming in. But as you mentioned before we started this podcast, Alex, how do you refer to it? Like gorgeous bodies?
A lot of great looking unibodies that you want to do a motor swap on immediately.
There's a lot of that happening.
I think you also have at least in my research, I found quite a few brands that maybe had more of a history of motorsport in their past that maybe they lost touch with through the 70s.
Through the smog and bumpers and all that stuff.
Yeah. And I think you start to see some of them trying to bring that back into the purview of their brand through some really interesting ways. But they're, like Beck said, a lot of little gems of factories trying maybe little one-off things on more consumer cars that they're making that they tried to market as this new, performance design type aspect that they're maybe trying to bring back. So yeah, a lot of interesting little gems in there.
Do you think there's going to be competition on this one, or do you think there's enough cars to go around? Or are there like 3 or 4 obvious places to start?
Well, the fact that we did this like a crash drill here to get all of our lists together.
Yes, we agreed on this today, just for listeners, because we will probably make mistakes and there will be some omissions. And so just know these gentlemen agreed to put their lists together today. We've had 2 hours to prep and we had meetings and stuff.
Be gentle with your judgment.
Yeah, that's right.
Or don't be. Just be crazy in the comments. Go for it.
Don't worry, people won't be back. You don't need to worry about that.
I think there might be some crossover there, which is fun because then once, as you know, Alex, one of his rules is if a car gets picked, no one else can pick that car for that category. So it becomes a little bit ruthless, and you actually kind of strategically sometimes have to keep multiple cars. And am I really going to say that one? And I'm going to save it for another category. Depends on the order of the categories. So that can be really tough.
I think there's some things in 80 you got to grab.
There's for sure ones you got to grab, but I also tried to, when we decided on 1980, there were clear picks in my head of, I think, the obvious choices that some of us might go for. I tried to avoid those, even if...
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I tried to choose cars that, I would enjoy owning and having in my garage, but also may lead to a bit more interesting conversation.
That's always the conundrum is do you follow your heart or do you want to win the Instagram poll?
Yeah.
I always lose that, so I follow my heart.
Yeah, I ended up doing kind of something similar to you, Cam. I was like, 1980, there are just the clear winners, right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking around, I'm like, you know what? But this car has character. There's character here. There's I think it was Beck or Alex, one of you guys was saying earlier about how you could see the future of that model.
Yes.
Kind of showing up in 1980.
You can see the future.
I like that.
You can see the future of things and you can see the death of some things. So when we all settled on 80, which we all kind of had a little powwow on, which I don't think we've ever done that. I usually mandate the year to everyone, but we really kind of agreed on it. And we were all like, ooh, this is going to be a toughie. And it really didn't feel that way to me in the end. I was surprised by that.
Well, notably, we had first settled on it's got to be something in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And then we were thinking late 80s or early. And we determined that earlier would be harder. And that would just be more fun. Because 89, I think we can all think of right off the top of our heads
100%.
What it's going to be. But with 80, it's a big question because also a big one is I was looking up cars that I swear were made in 1980 and they weren't.
Mm-hmm. I had some of that.
They'd ended in the late 70s or they're 1 year away.
Yes,
there's a lot
correct.
of 1981 stuff. And
one that I can say that I know we can't do it. I thought for sure there were still Espadas in 1980 and there are some that were kind of sold, but they stopped making them in 78. So I think it's fair to say that's not eligible, even though there are maybe some model year 1980s, but like it was 2 years defunct.
Stratos is another one.
Totally.
In 78. Now,
Good
they were
call.
racing them in 80, but I figure
Right.
that's not in the rules.
No.
But there's a bunch of those that just stopped right before this.
Mm-hmm.
One of my biggest takeaways was, and I know, Alex, you always like going through the movies of the year, but 1980 had some very good movies.
That's a great segue. Let's talk about it. So 1980, none of us were alive. I'm the oldest one here, and I was born in 83. Cam, you're the youngest, and you're a decade and a half away from being born, right?
Yes. 97.
Amazing.
17
So that's amazing. I was pretty close. 1980 the year, that's Ronald Reagan, right? That's Mount St. Helens, which I'd forgotten. I thought that was a little bit later. We just had all the hockey drama happen here. That's Miracle on Ice, Americans beating the Canadians at Lake Placid, the 1980 Winter Olympics. And then we boycotted the Summer Olympics, I think, in Moscow in 80. So interesting Olympics year, which is topical for us right now.
I've got that'll come back.
Okay. Oh, good. Yeah, incredible movie year. I'm sure you know what the top one was, right, Tyler? Big movie of the year.
I don't usually like top movies. I kind of like the also.
Oh, there's deep stuff, but this is Empire Strikes Back. This is like a monster.
Yeah, sure.
Star Wars comes back after the phenomenon in 77, which is a year we've done. Number 2 was 9 to 5, which is a movie I love and a song I love.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, have you guys all seen that one?
I honestly am not a big 80s movies buff.
Oh, well, and this is
Love
like
80s movies.
the reason 80 is interesting is it's like a little bit of 70s hangover, but also a little bit of what to come. So the movies reflect kind of the cars in some ways. Airplane was the number 4 movie of the year.
Great choice.
You all know that,
Fantastic.
right? But here's some others that are in the top. Blues Brothers and Smokey and the Bandit 2, 2-car movies that were biggies. Caddyshack, The Shining, Private Benjamin, Coal Miner's Daughter. I mean, like to your point, Tyler, huge movie here.
Yeah, I was looking at Flash Gordon, Urban Cowboy, American Gigolo. I mean, the final countdown for like if you really want to get deep in 80s military might drama.
Big directors, big stars, really good stuff. Can I do a little music too, Cam? I wanted to hit you with this. I mean, 9 to 5 also has a great theme song, right? Number 1 song, Call Me by Blondie. Number 2, Another Brick in the Wall, Floyd.
Wow.
Right.
Funky Town came out in 1980. Rock With You, Michael Jackson. Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Queen still hitting the...
I mean, what an era for music. You got new wave rolling in. You got Stevie Ray Vaughan holding it down with some power blues. You got Blondie coming in. Like, a really incredible time for music. I'm also not a huge like new wave 80s buff, but you can't deny the hits that came out of that era. Duran.
Yes.
I mean, it's like you got some really good stuff.
Some yacht rock? I can't remember if you're a yacht rock guy or not.
Big yacht rock guy. I would say 80 you're starting to lose the yacht rock.
Yeah, but that's Christopher Cross. That's that's
Sailing.
Ride Like the Wind, which is my favorite Christopher Cross.
Okay.
Was a big song that year.
Yeah, kind of similar to the cars that were coming out. Just a really big melding pot.
Totally.
Of music.
Some like old era, but new era, right? A mix.
Yeah, I would say a lot of new era trying to push old era out. And again, I'll say like Stevie Ray Vaughan, I love him so much as a musician, but to do his thing as hard as he did in that time frame and to be popular on the radio at that time, I think is so incredible. But yeah, some fantastic pop culture came out around
100%.
Yeah, to also kind of blend together cars and movies, Steve McQueen passed away in November of 1980. Right. And to kind of bring a bit of a BAT car tie-in, we've sold, I think actually twice maybe, the Chevy 3800, which he was driven to the airport in.
Oh, with the custom camper shell, right? Yeah, the green thing.
Flight to Mexico to receive this experimental treatment.
That's right.
And crazy that we listed that. That car seems like it's such a powerful.
That was our
piece of Americana.
First of the big Steve McQueen. You know, it's when you get a Steve McQueen vehicle, it's a big deal, and that was the first one. And I remember being really blown away by that.
Yeah, our friends over at a Legendary Motor Car up in Canada listed it, and they paired it with a Husqvarna.
That's right.
That would so this was the rig that McQueen would take to the desert and go riding in. So kind of fitting that was also the last car that he was ever known to be in alive.
And that truck came back, didn't it?
You know, I thought it did, but I'm not seeing it.
It definitely did. I was working with the current owner of that truck, and I can't remember if
something happened and it never went live.
I can't remember where we left off.
Well, you know, we listed it the first time with the Husqvarna, and I wonder if maybe if
I remember asking them, "Are you going to list the motorcycle again?"
But that was not a McQueen motorcycle, right? It was just era appropriate. But
it was
okay.
It was era appropriate.
But we have since had McQueen bikes, right?
We've had a few, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We have.
Also, Gary Newman's Cars came out in 1980, so more Cars music
Nice,
tie-in for you
nice.
there, Cam. I don't know if that's one of your jams or not.
I do enjoy Gary Newman.
Okay, great. Beck Formula One or Le Mans, I took a gander at both, and it's actually like the cars and the drivers I'm not that familiar with.
Me neither. I mean, World Rally Championship a bit more.
Because that's the great turbo all-wheel drive Group
Turbo
B
all-wheel
cars
drive
are
is
just
starting to
is that
come
Audi?
in.
Is there a Quattro that year?
Quattro,
Yeah.
but only in racing, not in the street car variant.
Okay.
Yet.
Yeah, was the Renault Turbo 5 out at that point?
It might have, but it was really.
I mean, the Stratos won in 79 or 78.
Even
so
though there was a
still
four-wheel drive competitors,
right.
like it was still
a
holding
rear
strong.
drive mid-engine car.
Was
winning.
that the Alitalia car?
I think
wanna
that's right.
say?
I think that's right.
I don't know if that livery came out just yet, but it might have been. Oh yeah, I think so. Maybe I'm not really sure.
Well, we can talk about it when we fight over who
We
gets a
do that.
308, but the 308
yes.
rally
Yeah.
cars were also
Yes.
out at this time.
So cool.
I mean, you almost have a 308 rally car.
Kind of. Yeah. So Formula One season was won by Alan Jones, who I didn't even know was a Formula One champion. Did you know that? I mean, the name is vaguely familiar to me, but he's the Formula One champion. And then Le Mans is won by a car I also had never heard of. Did you look this up, Beck?
I did.
Okay, so it's called, I'm probably going to like butcher this name here. It is called a Rondeau. It's got a Cosworth V8 in it. John Rondeau is the driver, so I'm
Lovely.
presuming it's like his own
How do you-
Perfect.
how do you
his own
spell
deal.
that?
And second, Rondeau. Second place was a 308 with Jackie Ickx in it, and a 308, and I'm Freudian slip, a 908, a 908 still racing. It must be some super modified 908, I presume.
Or just Jackie Ickx is that good.
Could be. I mean, that could be. Anyway, kind of an interesting era in racing, not a season that I knew a lot about. But you're right. Like, I think when we think of 1980 in racing, a lot of people think about rally racing.
Yeah.
That's like really where it goes.
Well, it's that turbo era is penetrating not just World Rally Championship, but also Le Mans is an interesting fact there. But
Correct.
You've got 935s that are also going at the same time.
And are the
934s.
Renault Formula One cars out with their Turbo 4? They're very close, aren't they? If that's not that year.
I want to say BMW is maybe a few years off from their 4-cylinder big turbo that did like 1,500
Yes.
horsepower. They did like rebuild
Right.
it after every qualifying kind of thing.
Yeah.
Back when you could like basically have a different engine for qualifying than you did
It was
for
an
racing.
M10, wasn't it?
It was
a
an
super
M10.
modified M10.
I believe
yeah.
it's called an M12 is that variant with basically just a 16 valve head.
That's a
with a
fact that
giant
every
turbo.
E21 and 2002
Correct. It's the
driver
same
will
as-
tell
yes,
you. I mean,
yes.
this is a Formula One engine.
It's like everyone who's got an M6. So this is the same one as a car that
Yes.
might come up. in
Oh,
this,
yeah. Hold on. Okay, we got to
Yeah,
stop
yeah,
before we
yeah.
get too out of control. Any other things about 1980 that you guys want to mention before we dive into our picks?
Well, just from my knowledge, when did Group B get outlawed?
1986.
86, okay.
My parents got married in 1980, so
Hey.
So did
congrats to
mine.
them.
Mine got married in 1980 also. That's
Great
interesting.
year.
Wow.
Mhm.
Congrats to your parents,
Congrats
Tyler.
to yours as
oh,
well.
thank you,
Alex.
buddy. My dad was wearing kind of bell bottoms still. So like another thing that shows you that the era was in transition. Right? This is Death of Disco,
Some,
Cam, right?
some slower than
Uh-huh.
others.
Yes.
Yeah, my
Totally.
dad had gone. It was a little bit more modern. He just went with the big lapels.
Nice.
Perfect. Could you imagine the mustache game at those weddings? in
My dad had a
1980?
strong mustache, and I think I've shouted out him a few times. My uncle Ron was just rocking one of the greatest mullets of all time at my parents' wedding. It was
so sick.
beautiful.
I would go out on a limb and say that 80s aesthetics are currently trending in the modern day.
Yeah.
Mullets are fully back in action.
Mhm.
So maybe appropriate that we're sticking to this.
I think
In
it's
a
just,
way.
just about right.
And in a way, it's coming back in cars too. Hard edges on cars. All the Ionic cars have looking like 80s cars.
Mhm.
The
Little
Rivian
wedgie.
R3. There's a few of these things that are starting to come back into.
We're in a
modern
transitional
trends.
era.
Wow, 1980s coming
You're a
back.
masterful podcaster. You're so good at it, buddy. Okay, let's do a quick reminder of the rules. I always kind of butcher this. Beck, you want to do the rules? You're on a podcast roll. You
Oh
want to
my
explain the 1 year garage game?
And this is actually my first time doing this.
Wait,
game,
are you
so-
serious,
Yeah,
Tyler?
so I do need to hear the rules actually.
Oh my gosh. How did we miss that? I just assumed you've been on the pod so many times. I just thought you'd done one of these.
No, I've listened to them, of
Oh my
course.
God,
but I've
breaking
never done a year
news.
game.
What an uncharitable
wanna-
host I am. You've done a couple though, right, Cam?
I believe this is my second. Yeah, this is
Oh,
second.
okay. We actually, looking at the thing, we haven't done as many as I thought. I don't think we've even done 10 of these. They're very popular, but we haven't done that many.
Well, there are 5 categories to build out our dream garage for a particular model year. Model year being kind of a vague term. We've had some disagreements in the past as to what that really means, but essentially, if you are able to buy it new in this year, that's something that we would consider. The 5 categories for your 5-car garage are sports car, family hauler, daily driver, 4x4 pickup, and wild card. Wild card can be kind of open air. It's mostly got to
Zach
be
picked
a
a
vehicle.
jet one time.
Well, if it's it's true. I think there was some disagreements on that front.
Does it have to have wheels? Is that part of the rules? Or
It's more. I would argue.
I think
the
you could pick a
rule-
boat. I think you could probably do that.
Okay.
True. I would
I think
argue
if we-
it's got
how about
to
if
be
we
on
list-
the site.
Yes, if we list it on the site, I think
Okay,
it'd
That's,
be okay.
that's a
Nice.
carve out, pretty much.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great.
For
Yeah.
wild card.
I know what you're thinking about. You're thinking about snow runners. No, I'm kidding.
1980 was a snow runner.
I know it was.
And another general rule is we're going to go in order. Alex here is about to help us select what that order is going to be. And if someone before you in that category picks that particular car, it is no longer available. Also, that would mean it is not available for other subsequent categories either, which for 1980 isn't that bad. As we get to modern cars, it's actually kind of tough because you've got a situation where there's cars that genuinely can be sports cars and be family haulers and so on and so forth.
daily driver, yeah.
But the further we go back in time, cars actually tended to exist in a vein of
Serve a
what they're meant
specific
for.
purpose, yeah.
Correct. Which is one of the reasons why I think we just all like vintage cars so much, is that they're really designed to fulfill a certain purpose, as opposed to more of an appliance that can do
A lot of the cars we're going to fight over sports cars, nobody wants to drive that from 1980.
Right.
Great job, Beck. I'm going to have Tyler pick the order since he's a
good
newcomer,
idea.
new
There
to
you
me.
go.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So
You're just gonna
kinda
pick one.
drawing
Just know,
straws
Tyler,
here, huh?
I always get picked first.
Oh, Alex first.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think I've ever gone
I don't
first
think you ever
before.
have.
That's extremely exciting to me, and I'm going to break everyone's hearts. Okay, number 2.
All right. Let's see who we got next. Nope. Let's go with this one.
Oh, you picked yourself.
Oh,
so
myself.
now,
All
now
right.
everyone knows
Okay.
it's rigged.
Yeah,
now
totally
everyone knows
rigged.
it's rigged.
Okay. Totally rigged. All right. Ooh, let's go with that.
Cam
one.
and
Oh my
Beck.
God.
All right.
Beck goes
I
last.
feel like, doesn't Beck usually win these things?
Yes,
don't,
correct.
don't I keep
So
hearing
I'm
something
not really
about
concerned about any of us choosing the things that Beck has chosen for some reason.
Yeah, he's going to pick for family hauler. We may have to litigate when Beck again chooses a 2-door shooting brake as his family hauler. For
Don't
us.
worry, guys. I have multiple options.
Hey, it just depends on how much time you're willing to spend getting your family in there.
2 other quickies, Tyler. We will, like, the first person, I guess, is going to be me, excitingly, gets to pick the category. And so we'll stick to the category each
Okay.
time we go around. We may need to litigate a few things, whether cars are the same or different. There's some models that are maybe different enough to count for 2 different things. I think when we did our 2026 draft, one person had a regular 911, one had a GT3. That doesn't quite
Okay.
apply here, but there are some models that are kind of like that. Other than that, I think we're good to go, right? We typically save wildcard till the end because it's like where people get crazy. So we'll probably go through the
Okay,
other
love
4
it.
categories first. Okay. I
where are
am
we going
going
first,
to... Yeah, great. Thank you, Beck. I'm just going to slide the microphone your way permanently. We're going to go to sports car,
Oof.
and I'm going to take a BMW M1.
God,
Okay.
Who else was going to go there first if you got first pick?
boom. That was number
Yeah.
one.
Okay. Interesting. Not Tyler.
I was
3
not
out of
gonna
4
go
will
there.
work.
Okay.
Same thing.
I was not going to go there. And, folks may know it was a little hard for me not to just choose motorcycles because while cars were experiencing some kind of styling and performance declines, motorcycles in 1980 were actually pretty legit.
I have motorcycles on my list, and I actually think they're fine. Like, we've had them picked before,
for
and
sure.
I've kind of been waiting for somebody to have the balls to do like all trucks or all something, you know what I mean? Or all bikes or
I
something
once
like
did
that.
an all-American one, and I
Ooh,
was
fun.
destroyed.
Okay.
Maybe not.
No. Well, the other thing, Tyler, if you're brave enough, we put these up on Instagram and you can see what people think. These
Oh,
typically get the
man.
most.
Or
Okay.
don't look at it.
Yeah, don't look at it. People don't listen to the episode. They just look at our picks and everyone says how much Beck and Zach cook and how much Alex is like weak sauce. So
God,
I had a
all right.
scout in my troop who came across one of those posts.
Did he
on Instagram.
really?
Yeah, and he came to me afterwards at a meeting and was just like, I was watching BAT and they had this thing about picking cars for a certain year and it was you.
did he vote for you or against you? Or he didn't reveal?
Didn't reveal.
Choose not to say.
I don't know what we need to say about the M1. They're rad. I used to always kind of respect them. They've maybe become, does that count as a supercar? I mean, it's kind of a proto supercar.
Mhm.
It is like,
1980. I mean, you had Countach. I mean, what else would have been supercar?
Yeah,
it's,
I mean,
be-
I think it fully counts as
Yeah.
supercar. If we're talking relative to the era, definitely.
is it the best car of the year?
Maybe the pro car version, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just have a street car version
Sure,
in
of
orange or maybe
Oh.
black, but
That's the one, man.
the orange one.
That's
Did
the
we
one.
list an
Good.
orange one? We've listed.
Orange one's good. There
Come
it is. Look
on.
at that.
This,
Yeah.
this was the
Give
one.
me a break with those wheels.
What did that go for, Beck?
This is lot 94089er. It went for 651,000.
Yeah, that's the
cool.
one.
That could be yours.
That's the
Alex.
one.
Yeah.
That could be yours.
And I just
This
think,
one has the gray cloth too, doesn't it? Which is so strong in like a supercar.
And
Yes, come on.
I really love how restrained a design it is. You know, I think if you're looking at a Countach next to that on the street, you're gonna think one is a supercar more than the other.
You guys can fight over the Lamborghini. I don't care. I have no interest in it. I wouldn't pick it on my list. Maybe that's the other number one pick, right? But for me, it's just not. I just don't like the way they look. I think you're spot on.
Yeah.
Like I've been in an Espada of this era, and you can sort of tell like, oh, it's an Italian car as far as interior and quality of this. I've actually never been inside of an M1, and I'm curious if it does it feel like an 80s German car? Is it still actually like that solid?
It certainly looks like it has like BMW steering wheel and everything, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you really want to get into it, it's like that is a German design to me relative to the design of the Countach. Like it is so extravagant and big flares, and like relative to that, it's a bit brutalist in my opinion from a design perspective, which I really love about it.
It's also straightforward, like you said. I like that in this for the same reason I like the NSX, right? It's just a very simple, clean design, which is what always appeals to me.
Yes.
But it has a lot of Italian heritage to it, though.
Right. There's a Lamborghini connection. Maybe they designed a chassis, or it was going to be a Lamborghini. I can't remember exactly what the connection is there.
I believe the space frame design and the exterior styling were all Italian shops.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
And I think from a performance, I can't quote numbers, but I feel like very much on par with 308s, 911 turbos of the era.
I'm sure it's faster than the 308s they're going to come up. Obviously, that's a dog in 1980.
Yeah.
So good pick me. Tyler, where are you going for a sports car?
Okay, so I do have a lovely sports car picked out, but I think I'm going to go motorcycle for my first one. And in 1980, even though it was kind of the lowest power level of all 4 years of production, I think it was the only year you could also get it in black. So I'm going to go with the Honda CBX.
That was on my list.
That was
I had to. I had to.
Yours is a 1980 or no?
I have an 82, which is white. So you can get white in 82.
We had a
gray in 81.
Specific red one.
Was it only red in 80?
You could get black in 80 as well. And I think 79 was silver.
This specific bike was on my list.
Actually, that might be the
you
one.
edited, Tyler.
I probably did, but let me pull up my link and let me see if I had the same one.
That is lot 210928. Nope. I mean, give me a break. Look at that. That is just like, put it on my wall. Oh, that one is extremely good also.
So if you actually put these two together, so my specific one was...
Yeah, give me the lot number.
Was lot number 220758. It was a black 1980 CBX Super Sport. And I don't love black Hondas. I think red and white are great colors for them, but this bike just kind of looks mean in black. This would be the one to have in black.
And school us, since I don't think anyone's ever picked sports car for a motorcycle before. This is
sports
like
vehicle.
It's sports vehicle, but like where does a CBX sit in the sportiness range of motorcycles for 1980? Is this like peak performance? This is something like the M1 or something, right? This is like the most HP you can get basically in 1980 for any motorcycle?
Virtually.
Yeah.
In 1980, it was doing like 97, 98 horsepower, which is really high for a motorcycle, of course. But it's still more in that kind of sport touring kind of ability. So I maybe you'd put it closer to like something that's like a 2+2, like some kind of high performance 2+2.
Like a 911 maybe.
Yeah.
Or like a 911 turbo kind of thing, which was also very, very high performance, but had a back seat on it.
Yeah. So you wouldn't race it. It's just too big and heavy. But to ride around really fast, you could do that. You could do that very well.
Very sick pick. I'm very glad the CBX came up. Tyler, I don't like to do a pod with you without the CBX coming up. It makes me uncomfortable. All right, Cam, you are up next, my friend.
Well, the M1 was going to be my selection, and I guess we'll get into a little bit of litigation here. My second choice would be a 930 turbo. 1980 was the year that 930s were not allowed in the U.S.
The first year.
No, it goes all the way to 83. No, 85.
85,
Oh,
86
really?
the first year comes back.
No, but you can definitely take a
it's a
Euro.
Euro. We have Euros.
Well, and they came to Canada, so I'll just
you're in.
scooch one in across the
You're
border.
in. I actually think there's an argument. I think some people, is it 80? Some people say that the 930 is the best when they're not in the US because they made a little more power because they didn't have to worry about US regs at all.
Well, yeah, because that was, I think, 78 or 79 is when they upped to 3.3 in those. And just aesthetically, a fantastic looking vehicle. I'll take black on, probably steel Fuchs. But
double black.
I think black is a great look. It's like a little Batmobile-ish. But yeah, just I don't really have much to say. It's not my first choice, but I would take a 930.
It's good to take it away from Beck too, because that's probably where he was going next. Is that right?
Great
Beck?
choice, Cam. Great choice.
It is another car similar to the M1, and they're also, especially these early ones, are out of my reach basically permanently. I actually really like the Turbo Carreras, the non-intercooled 3-liter ones, which stopped in 77. But all of these early 930s are so wicked looking, and they're all getting so expensive. And so many of them were really driven hard, and the motors don't last long, so like they've all had multiple rebuilds on them and stuff, and they usually get modified. So clean versions of these that aren't super modified and have low miles, I mean, they're really expensive cars now.
But I think a testament to how desirable of a vehicle they were in the day, that they got driven so hard, and mostly all of them.
I would say probably quite a bit more iconic to the general public or even people broadly interested in cars than the M1.
Yeah, I would.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's got the generational connective tissue, right? You've got however many decades that you can connect it with, whether it's turbocharged or not.
Yeah.
Parts interchangeability, right? The engine code for the SC in 1980 is an M930. Like, you've got so many, the bottom ends are the same. Some of the parts, the interiors are all the same. Even going to 6 years later, when it's the 959, there's things that are connecting through all of this as well. So it's much, much easier for the general public to recognize and its importance.
It's what people see in their head when they think of a vintage Porsche.
Like,
totally.
yeah.
Huge hips.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right,
Another
Beck.
good BAT user.
I know. Oh, yeah, totally. You have to connect it to the 930 somehow. Otherwise Noah's going to come after you and you're going to get banned.
Yeah.
All right, Beck. Finally, your turn.
All right. Well, this is an interesting feeling to be last. But I'm actually still very proud of what I'm picking here. Also, not available in the U.S., notably for the same reasons that a lot of cars disappeared in the U.S. I really think it was 1980 was first year of O2 sensors, which is what forced a lot of cars to not be able to be available here anymore. Specifically, a very notable 12-cylinder Ferrari, the 512 BB.
Oh, great call.
That was going to be
Do you
my
have the
next
one live right
Beck.
Currently
good
live
for you.
right now in metallic green,
That
being
is-
sold by 1600 Veloce. It is lot number 231339. If this is going live Thursday, you can watch it close while we're talking.
Tell me
for
the
next
color
week.
name, because that's what's incredible.
Well, it's refinished. It's not original
Okay.
metallic green. It was originally
but that
black,
is a
though.
factory color, because I saw one at Macanissima last year in this
interesting.
color.
That's probably why we were
It might be.
the
It might have been this car. There can't be many
but
in
it's
this
metallic
color.
green over tan. It looks so rare and different. I honestly think these look better than Testarossas
I
and
kinda
what
do,
comes
too.
later.
I do too. This one's two-tone. They look particularly good with the black. Or
Yes.
maybe they all have black lower body panels.
It is genuinely gorgeous, and it not being a VBI is actually, I think, a plus.
Yeah. Is this
And,
what's the last year of carbs on these? Right,
well, I
right
think
around
that's-
here.
Well, it's the whole question of you're talking Euro cars. or
Oh,
you're
because
talking
there's
US.
not another flat 12 till the Testarossa comes out here.
Correct.
Is that
And
right?
This doesn't come to the US.
Right.
So I think BBI was Euro only, or at least rest of world.
Yeah.
Sort of from the outset of this discussion, like this really weird world of things that it's kind of the frustrating issue of the cars that were never in the US. This is sort of the start of that.
Mm-hmm. Man, the photos of that color and with the sun hitting it, it's almost got a bit of like the Mistachrome. Like, I'm sure in person that color shifts so much.
I know why they do these shoots indoors. This car should have been shot outdoors.
It's
You guys need to keep talking for a minute, because I don't know where I'm going to. I never get to choose. I don't know where I'm going to go next. I need to steal something from all of you. I'm feeling competitive today for some reason. I don't know why.
All right.
You know what's interesting? We all came out of that just fine. Everyone got a great pick there.
For sure.
yeah.
Even you, Beck.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm going to go daily driver next. I'm going to probably hurt your feelings, Beck, again, but do I want to do this? No, I'm not going to hurt your feelings. I'm going to save you for now.
Ooh,
I'm going to take a 308.
interesting.
I'm going to take a 308. I just drove mine this weekend. I loved it. They're a little sadder in 1980 than they are before. They're actually quite a bit sadder, because this is the 308. I want a GTB. I don't want a GTS. I still want a fixed roof, but it's the GTBi. So they go down in power. They put injection on them.
Mhm.
They even do that in Europe. So like it's
Interesting.
yeah, they have more power in Europe than they do here, but they put injection on it everywhere. And then they don't get back to the power that the early cars had until the 4-valve car comes out in like 83 or
That's
whatever.
all CSI injection.
Great question. I don't know actually
Okay.
who makes the injection.
I mean, that was what most.
It's
companies were
electronic though.
doing.
I mean, they're not doing mechanical injection anymore.
Right.
Like they
CSI is
did.
a
Yeah.
weird hybrid of the two.
Yes, correct. It's got the fuel distributor, right? Like
Yep. So that's probably CSI.
So that's what I'm going to take. It came in 1980, which, and maybe it did in the earlier cars like mine too, but I think it's called Oro Chiaro or something, but there's a gold color. We have not listed one in that color, but that's kind of my dream 308 color. So I'll take a gold 308 GTBi as my daily driver, which, by the way, with like a big mustache and some bell bottoms in 1980, could you be much more boss than that?
No.
You would be the man if you aren't already.
I just loved, I didn't get a chance to give you guys a ride. We'll get it back here eventually, but it's just such a delightful car, a weird car to drive. And I could easily drive it every day. I drove it a ton, so they're strange, but I love them. All right, Tyler, what's the daily for you?
I'm going to go in a different direction. I am going to go with 4 wheels on this one. I have a 2-wheeler, which I love, but I'm going to go with a 4-wheeler. I think it'll be fun. And also I would love to just, blow smoke into your windows from my tailpipe at a stoplight when I see someone with a mustache and a 308. I'm going to go with a Plymouth Trail Duster.
Plymouth?
I don't even know what that is.
No,
Did you stump all 3 of us? Do you guys know what that is?
No clue.
Do you know, Cam?
Are you kidding me?
What is this?
Oh, well, it's okay. So do you know the Dodge Ramcharger?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's the Plymouth version of the
okay.
Ramcharger.
Oh, okay.
And my idea
Sorry,
was
it's a Trail Duster?
a Plymouth Trail Duster.
What a great name.
And I would just like to be able to tell people, as per our prior conversation, that I daily a Plymouth. My Plymouth is parked outside.
All of us are furiously typing this into our computers because
We've sold a few of them.
I need to see it.
I actually even saw this when I was scanning through it. It didn't even register in my mind as being a different model, but you're right. It's 2 words, Trail Duster, as opposed to Ramcharger, which is 1.
Mm-hmm. And unlike Alex, I would like something where I can take the roof off so that back panel comes off, just like you would expect on a contemporary Blazer or Bronco, and just enjoy the sunshine, sit in traffic, maybe have my tunes, a couple cold beverages in a cooler, and
Absolutely.
maybe a mullet and also a handlebar mustache at the same time.
This is total Bud heavy.
And this is your daily. Your daily in this.
I would, yeah. It's so big and comfortable. I could see over traffic.
Drive over traffic.
You
Drive
call
over traffic?
You call everybody brother.
Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Nice 308, brother.
Some of the factory packages that you could get on these 80s 4x4 SUVs were so good. Like I don't know if they did this in the Trail Duster, but the top hand version of the Ramcharger
What
here.
is that?
Just
Oh my
Oh,
God,
that's
look at
sick.
that.
the factory chromatic stripe options that you could get on.
Say what you're looking at. You're looking at white with
Yeah,
like
that is
orange and red
incredible.
stripes on
So
a
this-
Ramcharger.
It's like the
Anyone wants
18
to
special.
look, this is lot number.
This is unfortunately not a Trail Duster. This is a Ramcharger, but same kind of thing.
178592. But I mean, same with the later gen Bronco 78, 79. You got the freewheeling packages and just a lot of the factory options that you could get aesthetically on those cars were so good.
What are the attributes of a Trail Duster? Is it just the brand name? Is that all it is?
You
Or is
rip
it-
down the trail,
Like,
dusting,
what are-
dusting people.
What are you
off.
getting in the Trail Duster options? I'm curious.
You get a big, bad American 4x4 that you can throw 18 people in the back and like cruise to the beach in. I don't know. What were you looking for in something like this, Beck?
I do love that our model page on this is called Dodge Ramcharger / Plymouth Trail Duster. Like that's about as good as a model page gets. Most recent result that popped up on classic.com was from Bring a Trailer, which by the way, the most recent one sold for $57,500.
That one's really clean. I was looking at it just now.
Has a 340.
yeah.
They wouldn't have had 340 stock, or they did.
I have no idea what actually
this
would have
one's
been
all
that.
built.
Maybe a 5.9. I don't know what.
Yeah.
What
Tyler
Plymouth
doesn't do
Dodge is
research.
using.
He's just going to drive one.
No,
What,
no, it's a daily
they told me
driver.
to drive, and
That's the point.
They told me to drive, and I can drive.
I don't know much about cars.
No. Well done, Tyler. No, this is sick. It's a great pick.
Thank you.
What would be your color combo? And also, Beck, I need you to specify for the 512 too. The colors and colors
metallic
are so,
green.
you would do
yeah,
the metallic
for
green.
sure.
Okay. What about you? Could you get all the cool stripe packages for these like you could on a Ramcharger, Tyler?
I don't think so. And I still don't remember seeing that many packages on Ramchargers. I think we may have been graced
Yeah, they're a little
with a
plainer.
couple of them, but
Yeah.
I think these are typically like black, red, silver, a couple two-tones. I would go with like a gold if there is a gold option.
Sick. Also, like, you probably have to pick up smoking. Like, that would be part of it.
Yeah, so you'd have your reds, your Bud Heavies. I'd be towing my CBX on the back. In fact, I'd have it
There you go.
in the back, kind of sticking out a little bit.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Man, the CHP drove Ramchargers. Did you
Yep.
see this?
Oh,
God,
that's kind of cool. No,
All
I
right.
did not see that one yet.
man. The fact that this wasn't on my truck list is a huge problem for me.
Oh,
All right.
Hold on, we got to call out the lot. The CHP Ramcharger is sick. We just got to call out that lot number. It is 184699.
Sadly, an 82, but man, what a
that is
rig.
awesome.
What a rig. That's a CHP officer who ripped SIGs. Okay. Cam, where are you going for daily driver?
All right, I'm kind of taking it on a different path than Tyler did. I'm going to go with a 1980 Volkswagen Scirocco S.
Ooh.
And my heart was really going to lean into the Rabbit GTI from 1980.
Which is Euro only. That's before they came here.
Exactly. And honestly, I think I prefer the looks and the body shape of the Scirocco S. Ever since, I don't know what generation it is, but maybe the same generation as the Mark V GTI that we got here. They had the Scirocco R in Europe. And ever since I saw that, I've had a lust for Sciroccos. But the S here, you came with standard with a 5-speed. I think you could only get it in 3 colors, which was white, black, and Mars red.
And you would choose?
I think I would go with white or black. Probably white is my top option. And this lot number I'm looking at here is 153510. It's a single family ownership. It's not the cleanest example, but has the red Recaro sports seats in it. And then I believe this has the same engine that the Rabbit GTI
Right.
had
I was
at
going to
the
say,
time.
what is an S? That means a GTI engine, basically. It's still single overhead cam back then.
Single
but-
overhead cam 1.6. I think these were fuel injected. But yeah, I just really love basically looks like an extended Rabbit GTI. And I think a little bit more of an interesting and fun option if you're going to go down that route. And just having driven Randy's, I believe, Mark II GTI.
This is a Mark II.
For a daily driver, it kind of gives me everything I would want out of it. You know, easy to park around the city if I need to, has a 5-speed in it, fun to drive around on the curvy roads, I'm sure, in some capacity, and just a fun, quirky little car.
Great looking cars. I've picked a Scirocco before, I think in our 77 year. And these original ones, we sell a fair number of the Mark II Sciroccos, but the Mark ones are like, they all either like they're all in junkyards or they rusted away, or I don't know what happened to them,
Well,
but like there just aren't very many Mark Ones, and they're so pretty.
You never see them. And I believe, was it the earlier Sciroccos in Europe they have square headlights?
Oh gosh, you've got me. I mean, 80 is pretty early. When did they come out? Maybe 76, something like that. There's only a couple year old car at that point.
Yes, I believe. And the reason that they had to have the 2 front round lights on the US spec vehicles was it was either DOT approved for rectangular headlights. And if you had the small headlights, you had to have 4 of them on the front. But I think aesthetically it works so well.
Well, it's the same for the GTI, right? Like the
Yes.
Euro cars are different than when the US cars come out.
Exactly.
Man, that's such a great pick. They're really good looking. I've always fantasized about swapping like a 1.8T into one of those so they kind of haul butt. But they're
like
so good looking.
A later GLI or
Totally.
GTI engine, and it would be so fun.
I was just talking with some of my buddies from San Luis Obispo about early wedge Giugiaro designs. We were talking about Impulses, Isuzu Impulse, which looks very similar to the first gen
Definitely.
Scirocco.
Yeah. Was this Giugiaro?
It is. Yeah. I think I showed it to you, Cam. My buddy sent me a picture of a car in Isuzu iMark. I'd never seen one before.
Oh, yeah, this was great. Alex was going around the office earlier showing this car to people. Like,
Yeah.
what is this thing?
Well, were you with me when Randy stumped us on the Sapporo?
Yes.
Sapporo.
It's a car
Great.
called a Sapporo.
Sapporo or Sabaro?
No, Sapporo.
Sapporo.
Okay.
Also
It was
beer.
a Chrysler or a Plymouth. I
Something
can't
like that,
remember.
yes.
And we just listed one. Type in support. Type the beer name into the thing and you'll see it. Randy showed it to me and back during a pod live.
Mitsubishi Sapporo.
Mitsubishi
Oh,
and
fantastic.
hid the name. He's like, "What is this?" Beck and I didn't know. Then that happened.
Plymouth Sapporo.
Yes.
Oh, it
78
was- yeah.
Plymouth Sapporo.
But I think it's also a Mitsu. It's both,
Correct.
I think.
Oh, okay.
But it has a roll bar like a 911 Targa. And then I got stumped on the iMark today, and I actually had to ask a few BAT staffers, which was rare. So I got the answer. Of course, we got the answer.
It
Somebody
was
knew.
weird. And I also
Sean.
love that when you looked over at me, you just go, no, and keep walking.
It's true.
I also love the label of this video in this Plymouth Sapporo gallery. The only unreliable Japanese car.
Give it to Plymouth.
Yeah.
They'll figure out how to make it
right.
unreliable.
It'll actually improve their reliability.
Totally. They met in the middle, like Benjamin Button. But then I got stumped again today with the Trail Duster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Too much.
This is
That
the
was- if
place
you would
to
have
be.
said Ramcharger, I would have.
Yeah, you guys know
It would've
Ramcharger. But that's why I like the Trail Duster,
yeah,
because nobody
good.
knows it.
Good
You're
pick.
so lucky, Beck. I saved
my
it for
gosh.
you. I saved it for
All right,
you.
what do you got?
Quite
What is
easy.
I
this?
saved it. We all know what he's going to pick.
Well, I mean, what helps is.
I'm going to write it down without you even saying.
Oh, I want to see what he writes down.
Wait, now I kind of want to. I think we should make Alex go first then.
I got it right.
He
Didn't
got
I?
it right. There's a
Okay,
specific
okay.
version of it. So yes, 911 SC Weissach,
Oh, good. Okay.
which was a very unique variant because of the fact that the turbo was no longer available in the US.
Okay.
They were trying to find different ways to specialize the 911. We're not yet at the M491, which is the turbo look that comes a few years later. But if you wanted a wing on your 911 SC, the Weissach was the best way to do it. And it is very importantly not the turbo wing. Prior to this time, if you optioned a wing on a standard naturally aspirated 911, you got whatever was currently the sporty wing option. There was not a bunch of different versions of it. But the whale tail wing, the true one, where basically it follows the deck lid going downward and then it shoots back up to the top of the spoiler, which is like the 74 Carrera or the early turbo Carreras before they were intercooled. You could get this wing for that car, but it's still a narrow body, still naturally aspirated. CIS injection, not CSI. I misspoke earlier. So it's basically a standard SC. I've driven an 80 SC a bunch, and I think they actually have more stock power. I think it's the classic case that they weren't updating what their actual numbers were. I think they're closer to 200. But these are wonderful to drive, obviously, but they have, I think, some great, unique looks. Only available in two colors, two different shades.
Black and gold, I think, right?
Yeah, basically like a
but
really dark.
I used to work on one that had burgundy carpets and burgundy piping, or do they all have that?
Interiors are quite unique in that they all came with an off-color piping, which is very unique.
Are they all sport seats?
That's a good question.
A lot of them are.
Probably are. I mean, this is the kind of thing where if you ordered this, you were probably
missing your turbo.
Does each color? Do you get the color matched Fuchs dependent on what color you choose?
I believe that was part of it.
A lot of the gold ones have gold spokes.
I mean, just that color of Fuchs is so good.
The Weissachs were, maybe still are, incredibly desirable, like almost turbo prices for them. There was a certain number, and that was back when special order really meant special order. Like Weissach meant you were actually getting a custom built car. Now that's all gone.
Now there's echelons of it. There's PTS and then there's exclusive.
But they're cranking them out of a regular factory. It's not going to some special wishes department like they used to.
And the special wishes might just be that you're not picking a specific color that isn't available. You're just picking a color that was available 1 year before.
Right.
And so they're just bringing it back out. This particular lot is lot 223299. It is a single family owned example, which is the way to do it.
Ooh, good number.
And yeah, they're not really 930 turbo numbers, I would argue. That doesn't really come up. It's a little, but it's definitely between regular SCs and your turbos. They're often actually in like really great shape.
Yes.
I think because people sort of sensed the value of them a bit more and kept them a little more special. Maybe some early speculative purchasing happening around this time. So they tend to be just an all-around better one. Mechanically speaking, I actually don't believe there's any difference.
No, I think that's true. It's not like the M491 cars where they gave them turbo
brakes and turbo suspension, all that.
It may have been a scramble. I don't know the history. It may have been a scramble to replace the turbo.
Could have been. And then additionally, it's similar to how like a Speedster has the same engine, but then again, the Speedster still has turbo brakes and wide body.
Right.
So this is cutting the pie a different way.
The two-tone interior is so interesting.
Does this one have the burgundy carpets? Yeah, okay. It actually looks awesome when you're inside.
It kind of like a Louboutin thing.
It totally.
The red bottoms, you know? Mm-hmm. I wonder if that was any sort of
my wife would love that. Shout out to Jamie.
Maybe Christian drove a 1980 SC, you're thinking?
Great pick, Beck. Not surprised at all. Picked that one. I almost went there. You could sense it when I went 308 instead.
But a category that you and I both got to pick the car that we own.
I know. Pretty great.
Also, I'm kind of seeing what you can do here with, you can pick sports cars. You can kind of pick cars that also fit into different categories, but 100%. You could, of course, use them however you'd like. I
ain't going to cheat here, though. We're going family next, and I'm leaning right in, and I'm stealing a car that maybe I might be, probably not from you, Tyler, but I could very well be stealing this from Beck or Cam. So we're going family haulers next, and I am taking another Euro car. This really tells you about the engine problems in the United States. Euro 450 SEL 6.9.
There you go.
Was that on your list?
No, but I was thinking about it though.
This car, this is lot number 224467. Look at this bad boy. 6.9 maroon. Long wheel. It has cloth interior. These Euro 116s and also 126s I love so much. These, I guess they're kind of the first two S classes, right? The 116 and the 126, but man, do I love them. Look at this cloth interior in this car, which is so sick. Woof. I know, that is tough. I think I would have to change that. They're attempting to go for like an AMG look, but that's an easy fix. But you still get the dry sump M100, big monster motor. It looks tight even in an S-Class engine compartment. I love 6.3s and 6.9s in any body style, but I love that motor. I love them in the big 600 grossers too.
I was just going to say, the spiritual
Yes.
successor to the 600.
Totally.
This isn't the special locks and window system.
Oh, no. I think this is conventional
Gotcha.
electric everywhere. It's probably a better car than those, right?
For
It's
sure.
a much more standard car. But also, again, another problem with the US, the Euro lights and the Euro bumpers fix all ails. They just look so much better than US stuff. Anyway, that's my pick. It's a good car. I'm having a good time getting to pick the things that I like. This is fantastic.
Do you not go first? Is this your first time?
He has horrible luck.
I have horrible luck, and
Okay.
and then I also pick things that nobody like. I'm just like a perpetual
No,
loser.
nobody even
I
wants
invented
this,
the
Alex.
game, and I'm a perpetual loser.
Made up the rules.
I know. At the very beginning, we tried to kind of make it who won the Instagram poll, and whoever loses it gets to go first. But
Sure.
we've gone random instead.
Man.
All right, Tyler, are you ready with a family hauler?
Yes. And by the way, I did also have a Mercedes on my list that one of the others may pick. So it wasn't totally out of my wheelhouse on that one, Alex. But I am going to go American on this.
You're charming everybody with being outside of your wheelhouse, man.
I am going to go American on this. I'm going with a Cadillac Seville.
Oh, great.
And
great.
this is when they had that kind of like sloping rear deck and trunk.
Isn't there a faux tire
You
hump
could
in
get
it too?
that.
Yeah, okay.
You could
yes.
get that. That was more of a Lincoln thing, but yes, you could get that in your Seville. I think the Seville came out in the late 70s, and I want to say the first gen of that may have even been stock where the spare tire was. But the one I'm looking at now is a two-tone, what are the actual colors? It's like brown and tan, which is perfect for 1980. And it's got a California blue plate. We sold it in May 2024.
Looking at this, Tyler, I don't know if you remember this. Boats can only be in wild card.
That's right. Yes, that's what it is.
Oh, Beck. That's a dad joke.
So, my first car was a 96 Cadillac DeVille,
Ooh,
which was a
wow.
yacht, actually, not a boat.
That's a North Star, isn't it?
It was. It had the 4.6 dual overhead cam North Star, and it would light up the front tires. So Cadillac knows what they're doing.
The North Star era Seville is kind of a secret favorite of mine. The like mid-sized sporty Cadillac with the North Star. I bet we've sold nice ones of those. I haven't looked in a long time.
We have.
The Seville in that era is front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive in 1980.
Let's see. This one is,
This is the transaxles.
So it's
yeah,
front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
3-speed auto. Yeah, okay. Yeah, transactional, fuel injected,
And could
350.
you get the terrible 4.68 diesel in these? I can't remember.
You could I know in like 82 or 81. I don't know if 80 they had the diesel, but I'm looking at an 82 Seville diesel right here.
Is yours the Elegante here?
And you know,
Tyler?
I like
What's your lot?
Elegante.
Okay. What's
My-
your lot number?
My lot number is 148914. As some people may know, since moving to California, I've become a bit of a license plate snob.
Oh, you want the blue plate?
So I need the blue plate.
You know what, man? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a blue plate snob.
Yeah, I'm a blue plate snob.
Man, this is so great. I actually do like these quite a bit. It's really
It's a lot of car for $8,000.
Yeah, the rear end is so strange.
It's an injected 350. It's just a small injected small block, but it's north.
What's the HPs on it?
Oh, I'm sure it makes like 150
Well, I was
horsepower.
going
right?
to
Doesn't-
guess 175.
But you know what's interesting is it.
We don't have it published.
I'm pretty sure it's north south, but front wheel drive. So it's the old Cadillac style
Whoa.
front wheel drive system, like the 70s front wheel drive cars with the 500 cubic inch engine, where they're north south, but then drive the front wheels.
Strange.
I know. Like a Subaru or an Audi. Audis are still north south, but front wheel drive setup kind of, even though they have all wheel drive.
Tyler, I would love for you to fulfill this desire for this.
Relatively easy
Yeah,
financially.
I was gonna say, I could do this. Yeah, but this sure would be fun to drive around. I mean, gas prices have come down a little bit over the last year, right?
Totally.
I mean,
And
maybe it'll
certainly
work.
when new, no one cared about seatbelts, so you could put a lot of kids in here.
Well, I can confirm you can fit a lot of kids in a 96 DeVille. Yeah,
Sure.
having that as my high school
I'm sure.
car.
You can fit a lot in a 912E if you're working hard enough. Awesome pick, Tyler. Cam, where are we going family hauler style?
All right, family hauler. I'm going to stick with the Volkswagen trend and also a vehicle that I have had experience with myself. I'm going to go with an 80 Volkswagen Vanagon.
Oh.
Okay.
And I will speak from experience that for the use case that I bought mine for, it was not the greatest option. I was doing a road trip through the Canadian Rockies and very high elevations, and mine was a carbureted example. But these came with a 2-liter. They were air-cooled still at this point up until 83. That being said, outside of going up large grades and having to draft behind semis to get anywhere. If I was using this as a just get around town, take your family to the beach, take them camping somewhere, I absolutely loved the aesthetics and functionality of this vehicle from a just non-driving standpoint. And just all of the, like, I feel like nearly everyone you encounter has experienced some sort of trip or something in a Volkswagen Vanagon.
Some sort of trip, for sure.
Yeah, some sort of trip. And yeah, these just hold a really, really special place in my heart. I think these were truly the beginning of kind of the van life thing that is now
100%
taking over. You know, this led to the Eurovans and then very far onwards. But yeah, I love the Westfalia pop top, the kitchen inside. I think you could only get these in yellow.
Oh, you want a
orange.
Westie?
I think the only in 80 came out as Westfalias.
Oh, there was no
I don't know
standard?
if you could get a transporter in 80.
Oh, maybe not in the US. Elsewhere, you must have.
I'm sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. But you would want a Westie anyways?
Yeah, mine was a Westie. And yeah, just having the pop top, throw the kids up top, let them do whatever, hang out.
And there's synchros or no? Are they all rear wheel drive?
And 80, they did not have synchros.
Okay.
In a perfect world, I would have a synchro.
And what would be the motor swap in your perfect world? Porsche or Subaru?
Honestly, I actually ran into a couple on my road trip who they had a synchro Vanagon that the dude was an engineer and he fully engineered a Jetta GLI swap into it. And he let me drive that thing around. I was like, if mine had this engine in it, I could take this thing anywhere.
16 valve 4-cylinder?
Yeah.
Sick.
Wow. And he did it all himself. I have never seen anyone else do that engine swap into a Vanagon before. So, sir, I forget your name, but if you're out there listening, excellent work.
Well, great pick. You may have actually just won with that. The Vanagons are so beloved. I used to work on them and they were just brutal to work on. I really disliked it, but they weren't worth much 25 years ago. And my boss would tell people all the time, he's like, this is not worth what you're going to spend to fix it. And people are like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like they would not part with their Vanagon, particularly Westies, right?
And I would say that's still the case.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. But I think you were totally called it by this started van life. There were no sprinters or anything back then. So this is what you had to do, basically.
Yeah.
This was like the main camper.
And you had, early on, you had your bay window door mobile and stuff. Yeah. But I think this truly started like the outdoor explore, go camp.
The alternative was like a big American, like I actually had because I assumed I would go forth place. I had as a family hauler when you guys took all the good stuff. I had a conversion van, 1980 conversion van. That was like kind of your alternative.
Yeah.
Like it was like either a big rear wheel drive American truck based van that you could like
filled with smoke inside.
Yes, and shag carpeting and all that stuff in a porthole, or like this, and this is like so much more economical and
Yeah.
Great pick. Great pick. All right, Beck. No Aston Martin shooting brakes this year, I don't think.
Oh, I found one.
I was going to say, there might be one.
I found one, however, I'm not going to pick it.
Oh, thank God.
But I will let you know, yes, the Aston Martin Lagonda Series 2 shooting brake by Calestra did exist.
Is that the big, horrible Lagonda that's like got all the digital dashes and stuff?
It's pretty awful.
Actually,
it basically looks like a Volvo wagon.
But people love these for some reason. Can somebody explain that to me? People are obsessed with these Lagonda things.
I think it's for this kind of like you just said, that really strikes me as a 245 DL. And I know, and there's a lot of love for those. So,
for sure.
Throw an Aston Martin, what is it, V8 in that?
All right. So I'm not picking that though, because we were just in Palm Springs for a BAT meetup and we had sort of a one car purely on display up at the top in the center. It was a 79 Ford Pinto wagon.
Oh, yes.
That was
our shout out to our host, the folks who invited us.
Correct. Aaron, username AGL, he bought that car on the site as a surprise for his partner. If you haven't yet, go on Bring a Trailer, type in Time Machine. I know you're going to get a bunch of DeLoreans, but also there is a video about the success story of this car, and it is phenomenal. Possibly the best, if not maybe the second best. There's a father-daughter video as well that's on BAT. It is a genuinely amazing and emotional piece about a guy who got to go back in time and buy his car that he was a very, first car, but also he had to live in this car for a while. It's very emotional, great story. And I got to see it for the first time in person in Palm Springs.
It was perfection, that car.
It is ridiculously clean. It is really nice. However, it's a 79. So I can't pick it. So I'm instead doing a 1980 Ford Pinto Rally Pack wagon.
My goodness. Look at that.
This thing has porthole windows on the side. It is a rally package, and it is lot number 137128. Look at the interior on this. We've got cloth, technically bucket seats, but you're not staying in that seat if you go sideways.
$9,300 that sold for? Wow.
What a deal. Screaming deal. And it looks incredible inside and out. 1980 Ford Pinto Rally Pack wagon 4-speed.
Wow. Beck, you might have just...
I know. He's winning from fourth place. It hurts me.
He's good.
Yeah,
I see what the problem is now.
The ultimate is when you pit him and Zach together. It's really tough to even be in the room when they're doing it. What's up with the porthole on this and everything? I mean, what an amazing car.
Yeah,
Beck.
what is there any...
Let's not all forget Beck was like, oh, I didn't have time to prep and I'm not ready.
I will say Beck did ask for an extra 5 minutes of research. And
did you find the rally pack in your extra 5 minutes?
Sure, why not?
Bastard.
No, that is
that is so good.
I would love to know the decision behind the porthole inclusion.
I assume it's because you might go camping and you're laying back there. You want to be able to look out that window there. It's like perfectly lined up where your head would be too.
Sure.
It's like my conversion van, but it's a 4-speed Pinto instead. It's sick. Look at God, the seats are so good. This little motor was what was in, I love these motors. This was what was in my turbo coupe, my 87 turbo coupe, but with a turbo and intercooler on it. It's this little Pinto motor that powered so many cars.
How many millions of Fords do you think had this?
Oh my God, so many. And it's one of those motors that it's like the Chevy small block or something. They did so many different things with this motor. Man, this one is also really nice.
This is really nice. It's very nice.
Fantastic. There's the famous Pinto front end that's on every hot rod build and like custom ever. There it is. There's what they were pulling it from.
82 horsepower.
Yeah, but you could fix that.
That's true.
Put the full Mercure package on there. Great one. Great colors. Really good pick. Damn. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're going to go truck 4x4 next. It's back around the horn to me. And boy, am I glad I had first pick because this is another one I'm afraid somebody would have taken. I'm going to take AMC Eagle.
Nice, yeah.
But it's not the wagon. It's the two-door, which this is something I didn't know about until I worked at BAT. The coupe version of the famous AMC Eagle. I think we all think of the AMC Eagle as the lifted wagon, but there is a two-door version of it. This is lot number 168187. And boy, is it a weird looking car. I've always liked these. There was a guy, my buddy Tony from San Luis Obispo. There was a guy who lived across the street. I think this is right, from one of his ex-girlfriends, or maybe she was his roommate. And he loved AMC Eagle wagons. He had like a bunch of them. And it was one of those, if you're in your hometown, there's that house where you're like, God, who is that person? They've got 4 or 5 weird cars. There's a house in the outer Sunset with all the Sobs, that house. It's by a school. I don't want to blast the guy.
Someone's like, okay, we're all
He's got like 6 or 7 Sobs, including like little weird Sob 3-wheelers and stuff, and his neighbors must hate him because the whole block has all of his cars. There's like a Vigan and a 9.5 Aero. Yeah. Totally. And this guy, there were always these weird AMC wagons. And that's kind of how I found out about him, in high school and stuff. And then finally, here's my buddy's girlfriend either living across the street or with this guy. I met him and I was like, what's your deal, dude? And I've always liked these cars ever since. And again, until I came to BAT, didn't know that there was a coupe version of them. Thought they were all wagons. So anyway, this is also a clean one. Really cool car. I'm stoked to have it. Look at this interior. Come on. Similar to your Pinto.
Kind of just such a wild idea. 4-wheel drive coupe.
Well, that's the thing. I would love to meet the person walking onto the dealership lot in 1980 going, I want the two-door.
I'll take it.
Well, I think most people are like, I want the wagon. But I mean, it is, in some ways, it's so ahead of its time. It's the SUV of its day, right? Like there are that Subaru Outback or whatever. This is all people drive now, are these crossover, all-wheel drive, like wagon, like
Mercedes, the GLA
things.
is kind of basically that, isn't it?
All of these, all these things. The Subaru, like even the
heck, my Mercedes outside,
100%.
My E350 is that.
What the Vanagon was to van life, the AMC Eagle was to safari build.
There you go.
That's true.
All right, congratulations again to me. Let's see, we are going Tyler next.
All right, so
truck 4x4.
I've got another Eagle in quotes here. Jeep CJ7 Golden Eagle.
Oh, great!
Black with gold trim and a 304 V8.
Doors off or on?
Off. The doors would just be
permanently lost.
They would just be gone. Yeah, I do a bed liner on the inside, like marine grade vinyl, one of those marine stereos, and just leave it out.
I love it.
Both these cars, I will say, are in early parts of Back to the Future. AMC Eagle is Jennifer's
There's an Eagle in Back to the Future? God, I've forgotten about
Jennifer's dad's car. And then obviously, I believe it specifically is a CJ7 is what Marty McFly drags himself behind on the skateboard as a foreshadowing to 1955.
That's a Golden Eagle, or it's just a CJ7?
It's definitely a CJ, but
It's a CJ7. It's in blue, no door.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Top off.
Yeah, if you just look at like what the doors and the top looks like on this thing, my friend had a CJ7 in high school and it barely had seatbelts. I mean, this was not a car that, you could fold the windshield down. This is not a car where you're worried about the doors and tops.
So my dad taught my mom how to drive stick shift on a CJ7.
Oh, perfect.
And this was in a parking lot down in San Diego. And the story goes that she, in her first attempt to let the clutch out, let it out a bit too fast and popped a wheelie in the Jeep on top of a station wagon in front of her.
Oh.
The two front wheels ended up on the rear trunk of the station wagon.
Well, Beck and I were just randomly talking about manual transmission cars that don't have tachometers.
Sure.
And the CJ
Vanagon.
would have been one of them.
Yep.
Totally.
Yeah, the Vanagon just had little 1, 2, 3 marks on the speedometer.
Oh yeah, where you're shifted.
Yeah, little indicators. And if you're going this fast,
Sure.
maybe be in this
That's
gear.
that's how my Gia was. That's how Beetles are,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, just one big gauge in the middle, and then like a fuel gauge.
I think my W124 5-speed was that way too.
No, it would have had a tack.
I had a tack, but I think it also had like
Oh yeah,
shift
yeah, yeah.
mark
My,
points.
yeah.
Yes.
Love that. You said V8. Are they? Is that an option, or you want to swap?
No, the Golden Eagle is V8.
Oh, that's what a Golden
Wow.
Eagle
Yeah,
is. Okay.
That's why you get the Golden.
Yeah. Okay. And they're manuals, or they
Jeez.
come both ways?
I don't know if you can get them both ways, to be
Okay.
honest with you. It's worth it to have the V8, though.
Heck yes.
You
it
say
is.
you buy it because of the V8, but I think you also buy it because of the freaking enormous
massive
golden eagle on
Yeah,
top
yes.
of the hood.
So this is a brown one, but you can get the same exact thing in black.
Oh, I would have thought you want white gold. Isn't white gold the classic?
You can
Golden
get a
Eagle?
white
Yeah,
gold,
okay,
but
okay.
I like black.
Okay,
black
black.
gold. It's just with gold wheels. It's kind of a wild look. And we did sell a 1980 Golden Hawk 4-speed, which is in the correct color trim of black with gold accents. But that's still just an inline 4, though.
No, you need the V8.
Yeah,
You're right
you'd
about
have to
that.
have the V8.
Got
So
to.
1980. And V8s and Wranglers are fairly unheard of always, really. There's only a few years where you could actually do that. And this was one of them. But yeah, black with all the gold trim and, pack of Marlboros on the dash.
Fantastic pick. Honestly, everybody has had fantastic picks all around. Again, just saying, 1980, maybe not as bad as we all assumed.
No, it's great.
All right, Cam, truck and 4x4. Where are you going?
All right. I kind of leaned into the 4x4 part of this, and I'm going to go with a 1980 Subaru GL wagon, 4-wheel drive, but specifically, and I have to do a bit of research. I'm going to have to send Chris some links on this, but there was a US Ski Team version of this wagon
Amazing.
that they only made about 350 of. These all came with special decals from the factory. They came with special roof racks, heavier duty suspension, and then like extra lighting racks on top of the
Pick a one?
roof
Oh
rack.
my God, look at that, dude.
Isn't that sick?
Are those alloys or hubbies?
They look like hubcaps.
Yeah. Look at this, guys.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my
Now, do you know how the U.S. Olympic ski team did that year?
I did not look into that, but Subaru was a sponsor of the US Ski
Okay.
Team. And then I found a couple of these around that apparently once they were done with them, they just kind of did this US Ski Team gear auction. And that's where a lot of these kind of got
wow.
sold off to random places. But I thought a bit apropos, all Winter Olympics. And I just love this car, but I love everything that's happened recently with, the Hoonigan GL family Huckster, them kind of like bringing that
Sure.
back into their motorsports purview. And I don't know, a really cool car. And I wanted to go with something different that wasn't leaning in the truck direction.
And you found another good one. Interestingly,
That's
this happens to Beck and I all the time. We did the truck 4x4 category. We didn't pick trucks, and neither did you. So, and even the Jeep is kind of not a truck. So we got this is international truck haters club. We were able to all get cars, which I love. That's a great pick. You guys are crushing it, man.
Also,
So good.
One point. It is really interesting to me that Jeep, I feel like, is one of the few vehicles similar to Kleenex where you would never say nice truck or nice car. You would always tell someone nice
Correct.
Jeep.
Yeah, that's right. It should be a Jeep and 4x4 category.
Yeah, well, I got my son this all electric thing. Looks like a truck, like a thing that he can drive, like a Power Wheels, but it's has 4-wheel drive and stuff. And he calls it his Jeep because it's very distinctively like a Jeep and not like a pickup truck.
It's similar to the discussion at the top of the podcast where we were saying how 911s have that generational connective tissue. Jeeps absolutely
Mhm.
have
Yes.
that,
Oh,
right?
100%.
Like you feel like you're driving some heritage.
Yes.
There's some history there, and you can see that silhouette and you know exactly what it is.
And Harleys, like we were talking about. There's a couple vehicles where it's
Mhm.
Yeah, 911s, Harleys, and Jeeps, that kind of thing. Fantastic. All right, Beck, round us out.
I'm going to be picking out the German Jeep, which would be the 1980 Mercedes-Benz 280
Oh,
GE
well done.
Cabriolet.
Nice. That was going to be my
Specifically in
second
green.
choice. It's an excellent truck.
It's specifically the gas-powered, not the diesel, is what I would want.
Although that is the tough motor, the 280. Isn't that the twin cam motor?
I believe it is.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see here. Yep, there it is.
You
twin
want a
motor
cab?
comes. I want a cab. It is lot number 179694. It is painted in a gorgeous green, similar to my 512, unclear if that's what it was originally. But I think it looks wonderful. I love that these are incredibly capable, similar to that Jeep, but very much with a German aesthetic. Also some weird, less so for the Jeep, but some military generational history there. And I think this would be still, this is one of those classic cases where this could also be family hauler. This could be daily. It's such a usable
rig.
Is that the color you would go with, or is there another Mercedes color from 1980 you would prefer?
I don't know. I kind of like this green.
I would take this exact one. I would want a different motor in it probably, and maybe a 5-speed.
Sure.
But like, man, everything else about it is perfect. The wheels, the tires.
Yeah. I might take that front grille off, like the
I kind of
crash
like
bar.
it.
Yeah. I don't love the whole lights behind it though.
And
It's
did they
weird,
come
but
with that plate, like the kind of plate mail?
Oh, it's got diamond plate.
diamond plating. Yeah,
That's added, I think.
I don't plan on walking on top of the hood of this car.
My favorite is when you get one of these, maybe a little bit later in the 80s, and they just have a W124 interior in them. But it's like the same rig.
That's the best one.
Yes.
Where it's got the same interior as the W124.
But it's got like the burl wood and everything.
The burl wood and that same switchware from that era, which is so solid when you're locking all three differentials because you need to.
Yes. Very good pick.
Yeah, fantastic.
Man, you guys are crushing it. Really, really good job.
1980s, really. I mean, like
It's
we were
good.
saying,
It's solid.
it's a good year for a lot of cars.
Although there's a lot of stuff that's not US that we're picking.
Yeah, we'll do some honorable mentions here in just a minute. Let's do wild card first. Very quickly, is Back to the Future a car movie? Is that be in our car pod? Yes.
yeah.
This question was asked at the last one, I think, and I said,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Is Blues Brothers a car? That came out in
When you
1980.
mentioned that, I was
Yeah.
thinking, I think that's actually a
Is
car
that a
movie
pod
too.
movie? I haven't watched it in a long time. I mean, it's got the famous car chase at the end. But to me, in some ways, my favorite thing was when I think it was the four of us that did Bullet, right? When we were like more interested in the background because really
Sure.
Bullet's just got a couple famous car scenes, but then there are cars throughout it.
Yeah.
Right, which makes it a kind of a car movie, even if it's not. Right.
I mean,
So-
you pointing out is this D-type that's just in the back or C-type?
Yes, in the background, I want to
Yeah.
see.
With the XKSS, I think.
Oh,
Wasn't
Oh,
it?
maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
McQueen's car is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a topic for a different day. All right. Wild card. I'm a little torn here because I could pick my actual old race car, which was a 1980 RX-7, in which I have very fond memories and I learned a lot about, but it was also a pile of crap. So I don't really want that. I'm going to take a car that I considered taking in daily driver, but it's just too terrible to do. But it is a 1980 Ford McLaren Mustang M81.
I knew you were going to pick that.
I mean, I love Fox bodies, and this is kind of the predecessor to the SVO, which you all know I love, right?
So that was kind of along the lines of my point of some brands having a lot of racing heritage. And I feel like Ford kind of lost that a bit into the 70s and coming back with that thing. Like that was a factory.
Yes, big flare, but it was like done with McLaren, and they put a turbo on the motor and everything, right?
Yeah, trying out.
And that's that Pinto motor again. So we share a motor here, but with a turbo on it, right? And this is a predecessor to Mercure and all these things they did later. But this is pretty early for all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and this thing is wild looking. This is a totally stock car, you're saying?
The
Street
hood
car?
setup is crazy.
Yes, this is a street car.
What's the lot number on that? I mean, this
This
is
is
incredible.
lot number 195275. There's also, I think maybe more famously, I think they're a year or two later, there's orange ones. They only made 10 in 1980, but there's ASC McLaren Mustangs that are made for this first couple of years of the thing. And they would make a few each year. They're kind of custom, but I think you order it through a Ford dealer. But yeah, turbocharger, Recaro seats. Again, not a race car for the street. That's not right. But racing technology brought to the street. And pretty forward thinking, a Mustang rear wheel drive, but with a 4-cylinder with a turbo on it, and sporty. It's got big fender flares on it and BBS style wheel. Oh no, they're actual BBSs on this. Sorry, and adjustable conies and stuff. Pretty cool. I mean, it's a Fox body trying to compete with your SC basically
Right,
in
for
1980, but they have to do all these mods to it. But I just have always thought they were cool.
And this is supposed to be obviously a road course car, correct?
I mean,
If you don't think of a Fox body
think
as
it's
being?
a street car. It's not homologation or anything because they didn't build enough for them. I actually should have done more research. I'm not totally sure of the reason why they did it, other than to, have a car that can kind of compete with European sports cars, but it's an American platform.
And McLaren, did they do another Mustang Fox body collab as well?
The orange ones that I was talking about, or
yes.
they're yellow or orange. I think they're ASC McLaren.
ASC, there it is.
Which ASC also did collaborations with other manufacturers and built other kind of hot rod versions of cars. I think isn't the pace car from Days of Thunder, wasn't that an ASC?
That was a Grand Prix.
Yeah, but it was an ASC Grand Prix, wasn't it? Yeah. American Specialty Company or Corporation, something like that. Anyways, I'm putting myself out there on a podcast. I can't remember what ASC stands for. But anyway, love these cars. Had not known until I did the research for this that there was a 1980 version of this. I thought it was just those yellow orange ones back that came later. Another car that I didn't know about till I worked at BAT. We've listed a couple of the slightly later ones, but then the car I really want is the SVO, but that doesn't come out till 84, which is basically putting this into a much more mass-produced package.
So many different interesting ASC McLaren collabs.
Yes.
On these cars, like obviously we just mentioned the Grand Prix, the Pontiac Turbo, the Fox Body Mustang, but also a Mercury Capri.
Oh, that's right. There's
convertible
Capris. Yes,
McLaren
that's right.
ASC.
ASC cut the top off some other cars too. Didn't they cut the top off the Celicas? Aren't those ASCs? The early Celica convertibles? Pretty sure that's right.
I don't.
No one wants to challenge
Alex, and then they're kind of like looking around at Beck and Cam, waiting for one of them.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my choice. Love those
Great
cars.
choice. I figured someone would choose that thing.
All right, Tyler, you're up next.
All right. God, I don't know which direction this is from that, but I would love to rock one of these. A Zimmer Golden Spirit.
Oh,
Nice.
interesting. I came across that in my research.
So these are kind of cool. And,
by.
yeah, they're just like, what?
I did.
Wild.
It's not written down on my list.
Yeah.
I saw it.
I love Excaliburs as well, but Zimmer, I would say, kind of hit the 80s hard. Plus, built in Cambridge, Wisconsin, using a Mercury Cougar chassis. Now, the connection to a lot of things we talk about, Cambridge, Wisconsin, is home to 2003 NASCAR champion Matt Kenseth, who also drove a Ford. So just a lot of Ford history in the small town of Cambridge, Wisconsin.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying a Golden Spirit, not the Quicksilver?
Yeah, that's correct.
That is bold.
It is bold. It is.
That is
in
wild
there.
card, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would totally show up at the local country club.
We're gonna show up to Tyler's house, and he's gonna have a Seville in the driveway, sitting next to his Golden Spirit.
No, he's going to show up with his 101 Dalmatians. When he makes some clothes.
Yeah, maybe I've got a type here.
That's
A great reference too. That's exactly what this looks like.
Yeah.
okay. Fantastic. Did you have a lot number in mind? It doesn't look like we've had a 80, right? So they made him an 80, but we didn't.
Yeah,
have,
we didn't.
okay.
We haven't had an 80.
Okay.
But if you look up just any Zimmer, that pretty much
A
covers
Golden
it.
Spirit though, because there's the
Golden
other
Spirit.
weird one too, right?
Quicksilver.
Yeah.
The Quicksilver. That's the more swoopy
Much more
one.
modern
Yeah,
looking.
okay.
Looks of its period.
This is like
For
a
retro.
Yeah, it's an Excalibur.
Yeah, exactly. I like the
Looks like a
Excalibur look.
500K, but
Great pick, Tyler, and that's pretty wild. So well done. That's kind of the spirit of wild card.
The Golden Spirit.
It is the Golden Spirit, and your second golden something pick in a row.
Yeah,
well done.
right?
All right, Cam, what do you got for us?
All right, mine is out there, but given we have listed one of them from the 80s, I think it's a pretty fair pick. I'm going to go with a 1980 Boston Whaler Montauk 17 foot.
good
yes. Fantastic.
And truly, I have had a Boston Whaler Montauk on my desire list since I was about 14 years old. I was very into fishing in high school, especially at the San Diego Bay, and the amount of Boston Whaler Montauks I would see out there. But 17 feet, a little center console, put a little 30 to 50 horsepower engine on it, like putting around San Francisco Bay or San Diego Bay. And if you want, you can go to lot number 220837, and that's an 86 Montauk 17. A lot of people refer to these as like the Land Cruiser of boats.
Mhm.
They're nearly indestructible from a hull standpoint and just extremely simple and all I would ever need out of a boat. But I could certainly see myself cruising out around on the San Francisco Bay or down back in San Diego on one of these things. Just has a strong nostalgic place in my heart.
Sick.
Yeah. My dad has a 16-foot Dauntless,
Perfect.
which is kind of the more of the ocean-going version
Mhm, a little
of
bit
the
deeper
Montauk.
hull.
Yeah,
Yeah,
deeper
yeah.
V-hull. And you're right. It's just like the 17 is kind of like the perfect
Mhm.
growing up in the Long Island Sound area. Like that's just what we ripped around.
Oh,
on.
yeah.
So those are just fantastic boats.
Are
It's a
these
good choice?
Are they sturdy enough that you can put a big old honking motor on there? Could you have like a 75 horse outboard on that?
That might
Or is
be
it
a
not
little
strong
big.
enough?
I bet you
Okay.
could.
I'm sure you could, especially now. I'm sure engines
You have to
are-
reinforce the transom or something.
Maybe, yeah. But I've for sure seen 17s with at least 50s on them, which would honestly be,
Bids.
Yeah, my dad's got a 90 on his 16
oh, wow.
on
okay.
on the Dauntless. So it's a more modern boat, but you could go up to a 1 I want to say you could go up to a 140 because the only difference is the tuning on it, so the weight doesn't actually change.
Okay.
And I wanted him to do it, but he didn't.
That would
he
just
wouldn't
be
do it.
insane.
Yeah, it
amount of-
would.
Especially on a Dauntless, it might work because you have the deeper hole on it, whereas a Montauk, I'm sure you're going to be planing out pretty quick.
Yeah, the Montauk is just such a great bay boat, though.
Oh,
That's just like such a carefree,
Yeah.
like weekend on the bay. I
Uh-huh.
love it.
Super dangerous website, boattrader.com. Dude,
Don't go to the Boston Whaler section on
it's
that.
real bad.
No, we can't go there because then the next is going to be planetrader.com or something, and then you
Yeah.
guys will go off on a
Yeah.
tangent.
All right, Beck, round us out.
All right. So for my wild card pick, I have a probably no surprise Porsche, but it is a 935 K3, specifically Apple Computer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
amazing.
the-
That's the
Yeah.
Bobby Rahal, right?
This is the one. That livery is just
That was 80.
wonderful.
It was very
80s.
short, right?
It was very short. I want to say it was for like late 79, early 1980. It is just sort of a gorgeous, iconic livery that is the one.
That's like the best era of Apple branding too.
Correct.
Are they still Porsches or is that Kremer built at that point?
I think that is Kremer built, which is
Yeah,
what
okay.
the K3 is all about.
Yeah.
And in 1980, God, that seems early for Apple to me. Is that
It
were
is
they
early-
sponsoring
it is early.
race car? They were that big at that
very,
time?
from what I understand, very briefly. They were like did not sponsor a lot of this stuff, but very briefly did. I think it was it only one race maybe?
I don't know, actually. I don't know how
There's a
long.
lot
it
of
was,
tributes to
it wasn't
this,
multiple
but there's
years.
one famous picture with the door open with it's Bobby's sitting in it, right? He's got like cool sunglasses on and his driving suit on, and it's when the Apple was all the different color. It's such
Mhm.
it's iconic for a reason. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Great pick, Beck.
Thank you.
Do you have the name of the race by any chance? I've always wanted to know a little bit more about the story of that
Just
thing.
found that one.
Yeah, there it is.
Wait,
That's the
oh,
look.
an
Oh, and it's got the
car.
gold disc wheels on it too. It's like
Yeah.
the perfect spec for a 935.
Fantastic.
So freaking good. All right, amazing stuff. Should I recap all of our picks and then we can do honorable mentions?
Please do.
Yes.
All right, my picks for sports car: BMW M1 in orange. I need people to know. Daily Driver 308 GTBi in gold. Family hauler Mercedes-Benz 450 SEL 6.9 Euro car. Truck 4x4 AMC Eagle 2-door sedan, and wildcard a Mustang McLaren M81. Tyler sports vehicle Honda CBX in black. Daily Plymouth Trail Duster. We all got an education on that. Family hauler Cadillac Seville. Truck 4x4 Jeep CJ7 Golden Eagle in black and gold, and wildcard a 1980 Zimmer Golden Spirit. For Cam, a sports car, black Euro 930 turbo, extremely sick. A Daily Driver, Volkswagen Scirocco S in white. Family hauler VW Vanagon Westphalia. Truck 4x4 Subaru GL wagon, 4-wheel drive, particularly the US Ski Team edition, which is not going to be very effective hauling his wild card. You might need something different for that, which is a Boston Whaler Montauk 17-foot boat. Maybe it could do it. I don't know.
Do it. Those things
Yeah.
are pretty light.
Maybe not in San Francisco. Don't take it up a hill.
Yeah.
Beck sports car 512 BB Ferrari in green. Daily Driver 911 SC Weissach edition. Family hauler Ford Pinto Rally Pack 4-speed wagon. Truck 4x4 Mercedes-Benz 280 GE Cabriolet. Wildcard Porsche 935 K3 in the Apple livery. I don't think there's a loser among all those picks.
I also would be fine with any of your picks.
I actually would too. I think everyone did fantastic.
Super fun.
Maybe
It's
not
so
maybe
surprising.
not a golden spirit, but everywhere else.
That might be a bit out there. But I'll tell you, if you got your Wall Street bonus in January, early February of 1980,
100%.
you could do some damage
Yeah.
with it.
I want my outside pipes gold plated instead of chrome plated.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions. You guys got some?
No Countach.
No, isn't that fascinating?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
glad.
not
Good
fun.
riddance.
That's not.
It's how I feel too. I don't like them very much. I do like the very early non-winged
Sure.
everything ones. Like
Earliest as
yes,
possible.
correct. Let's see. No 928. I thought about 928s
Yeah.
and 924 turbos.
Yeah, 928's tough because there's no 928S yet. It's still
Correct.
a really
I
lumpy
like the
motor.
simple ones though. And
Yeah.
I think you
I
get
know.
Pasha interior.
Well, just like with the
Yeah.
Countach, it's the classic case of it's the best looks, but it's the worst motor.
Yeah.
It's really fun when doing these things. I like to go to Classic or various sites and just go to 1980 and search by highest results and see.
Whoa, what's their highest in 80?
It's a lot. I mean, it's mostly M1 Pro cars and stuff that are sitting up at the top, but you get some cool stuff that pops up. Like 308 GTB Group B car.
Yes.
Excellent. I know that.
I
came
debated
up.
about whether I should have saved that but I think daily driving one is better than
Sure.
having the race car.
Yeah. 924 GTP.
Yes.
Yes, 924s were an option there. The Carrera GTs.
Yeah. I think, was it Carrera GTS? Was that 81?
I think that's
homology.
81.
Yeah.
I think that's 81. So you can only get the pure race cars in 80.
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And then you got some really out there cool stuff, just like Fiat 131 rally stuff.
Yes.
Just non-US.
No Audis, right? No one picked an Audi?
No one picked an Audi.
Weren't you saying the Quattro system hadn't really been developed yet? I feel like that's kind of where Audi shines later.
Yeah, I
in the
mean,
80s.
they've got some pretty weird, cool stuff happening. Notably, we had a few family hauler 4x4s like the Subaru and with the AMC, and yet Audi, which is what we would all think of when we're thinking about sport coupe 4x4s, and no one picked one.
I know.
Well, and for truck 4x4, no Toyotas, no Land
I
Cruisers,
know.
Oh, Randy
no
wasn't here. That's
I
correct.
know. Well, I thought about an SR5 would have been one of my options. No K5 Blazers and no Scouts.
Yeah.
Randy has turned this off by now.
Totally. He totally has.
Yeah, I was looking at the FJ45 Troopy. I do like that good kind of FJ blue.
There was still a 55 hanging around in
Yes.
80. That's got to be just about the end of a 55.
A little ugly,
Yeah.
beautiful with those cars.
Yep.
I mean, 80 was right up at the end of 40s. I think 83 was final year of
That's right. I think you're right about that.
US production, at least.
Beck, you mentioned the 512 BB, but you can get a very nice 400.
400
as well. 400s.
We all must have considered 400.
100%
Right?
considered
Yep.
400s.
As a family hauler, I think we could have gotten away with that. Other than my M1, no BMWs, so no E21s, no.
Yeah, we're pre
tough.
E30 though,
It's tough.
and
And you're-
E12 with the 5 series.
In Europe, you could get a 323 E21,
Sure,
which is
yes.
kind of cool, and you have better bumpers and stuff.
Prototypical M3 that we never really got, right? It's got the 323i badge on the front grille, which was, other than the 2002 Ti, was sort of the first to do that, which then everyone wanted with their M3s and M5s.
And I'm sure there's an Alpina version of that. I didn't look it up, but I'm not a huge E21 fan.
That's true. I'm sure there is.
80 was a great year for Trans Ams. You got the Turbo Special Edition.
Yes, that was on my long list. Yeah, for sure. Alphas,
I had an Alpha on my list.
GTV or a
Alfetta.
sedan.
Well, we had specifically, oh God, I bring this one up.
The one with the V8 swap?
Yes, the V8 swapped Alfetta.
Which I'm like, man, how's the transaxle
what is the
deal?
V8
Was it a
on that?
stock transaxle?
It was a Montreal V8.
Oh, the little baby
A
one.
little bit. That's how it fits.
Oh, look at that. That's perfect.
Man, not to criticize our colleagues, they should have put that right in the headline.
I know,
A Montreal
Montreal,
V8 is a
yeah.
2.5 liter
Yeah.
all aluminum double overhead cam mechanically injected motor. It's a wild engine.
It's a fantastic combo. Specifically, this is lot 217081. Car's been on the site twice. I would change the livery on the hood, but other than that, I would change nothing else. This car is awesome.
Oh God, I had never heard of that motor, but you know how much I love the Italian spec Ferrari 208. So I love that small
little
V8.
Montreal motor sounds so incredible. And the injected one has Spica, and the injection pump looks like another little V8. It's so complicated to have mechanical injection for a V8. Because the Rochesters on the Corvettes is that big, huge hump in the middle.
Right.
Yeah, that's a cool. I saw one in a 32 Roadster one time. 2.6 liter Montreal V8. It sat way back by the cow. It's little. It's little in dimensions, but it is quad cam, so it's wide. I know, pretty cool, right? What else? Corvettes are sad in 80, although I will tell you,
Sad.
that was one of the first cars I loved as a boy was an end cap late C3 because they are cool looking. They just have no power or anything, but I love the C3 styling and the end of it. They didn't do the impact bumper problem. They just fared in the whole thing. And they've got those, end caps on them. I do like the way they look, but they're tough. Same thing for Maseratis, although I like both the Kyalami and the Merak, which you could both get in 1980. They've got
Merak's great.
tough bumpers, but they're both very pretty cars. Again, good-looking cars that need a bumper fix and a motor swap.
The other bike that I would have gone with for a daily driver would have been a Harley FXB Sturgis.
Okay.
Was that one you were thinking of,
That
Cam?
was not, but that checks out.
Yeah, so this is just a super cool bike. The first time Harley ever did dual belt drives for the primary and final drives. So it's nice and quiet, very smooth. It's also the first factory Harley that's just got this like total badass blacked out styling, which of course kind of led the way to everything else over the last 40 plus years, let's say. And we sold an 81, which is lovely, but we did not sell an 80. It's the same exact bike though.
Yeah, and I had CBX Super Sports out on my list. I was looking at Z1Rs. Did we got those in the US at an 80, right?
I think so.
Yeah. And then, you had a ton of awesome like overseas offerings from Ford too. You had the Capris, you had these
Yes.
RS200s.
RS2000s, yeah.
RS2000s, yes.
Yeah.
What about Celicas? Celicas, anyone?
Yeah, well, I was
Does anybody like the 80 Celica?
80 Celica
Oh,
GT
look at
Rally.
Oh, I do like Scorpions.
Scorpion,
Yeah.
like Carlos. I have a huge soft spot for these ones. I mean,
That's what underpins an 037, isn't it?
Ooh,
I think it's the
You can get that in 1980.
you could as
the
a Monte
Scorpion?
Carlo.
Oh, it's Monte Carlo. Okay.
But it's mid-engine, Italian, small, short wheelbase, great looking car.
X19s are
Fair.
also, I don't know if you guys,
Yeah.
X19s
Sure.
can be
Yep.
polarizing, but
I prefer the Bertonis.
Yes.
So I prefer Bertonis for my X19s and Pininfarinas for my Fiats.
your Fiat Spiders.
So yeah, for my
there you
Fiat
go.
Spiders, and neither of those were in 1980 spec. Otherwise, I probably would have gone there.
There is a ZX in 80. I think it's a 280 still.
Yeah. I mean, surprisingly, there was a anniversary edition 280ZX up there in the results. It's like 28-mile example that sold for like 100.
Is that the
Whoa.
black and gold?
Black and red. Yeah,
and
black
red.
hood
Well,
with the
there was a
red
black
side.
and gold one I was seeing from 1980.
As long as it's not the 2+2, I'm on board.
Yeah.
That's where the Z's get tough.
These are what I was telling you about. These were a Japan-only homologation. This is the 80 Celica.
Oh man, I'm not sure I know about that.
2000 Rally.
Oh, that's an 80?
Yeah.
Oh man, I kind of missed that one. Look at that. It's probably a twin cam, right? It sure is. Man, that's good looking.
If you're still with us out there,
This is by far the longest. This might be the longest podcast we've ever done.
It
to
is
be totally
very
honest.
humid in this room.
Okay, all right. Let's wrap it up. We did a good job. It was a great team effort. Wouldn't have thought 2 hours of prep would got us this much time. Thank you guys for doing this.
It's like when the best racing is when the practice gets canceled ahead of time due to like weather or whatever. Like they just have to go with it and know what they're doing.
Yep.
It's fun.
It is fun. It's always a pleasure to do this with you guys. Thanks for being
Small
here.
start to our model year game.
Totally. Key on the left-hand side. All right. Thanks, boys. And thanks to all of you for listening. As always, you can send feedback to podcast@bringatrailer.com. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks, y'all.